So, you either clicked on this video for 3 or so reasons. One, because you are either going to rehab, know that you have to go to rehab, sentenced to rehab, some way you're getting to rehab. Two, you think you might be a drug addict, you might possibly need rehab. Or three, you're curious about rehab. So, I don't claim to be an expert on drug use, nobody fucking is, but I guess I can at least tell you what my experience is and go from there. So, there are 3 different types of rehabs. There are maximum security, minimum security, and they're like vacation spots. It usually all to do with money, honestly. If your parents are rich or you're a celebrity, you're pretty much going to a vacation spot. There is minimum security, which is what I went to. I had basic insurance. Like, I actually had like a job with insurance. It was $1,000 a day, you know, like that kind of thing. But definitely had a lot more structure. It was like being in summer camp and jail at the same time. And then there's maximum security, which is pretty much like being in jail. Now, you could have insurance and still end up at a maximum security. Instead of a vacation spot, you pretty much just need tons of money or really, really, really good insurance. So forget the vacation spot, you're probably not going to get that. There's minimum, there's maximum, and really, honestly, the best way to figure out which one you want to go to is, well, 2 things. The one that has the nearest open bed, as long as you know is not a dirt hole. Talk to people that go, you need to start going to NA right now anyway. Not even if you're really into NA, if you don't have to believe in God, you don't have to believe in NA, just start going to somewhere that there are other people that are sober there. Go there and talk to people. What rehab did you go to? Where did you go? Where'd you go? And find out like how it was, what their experience was. If they tell you it was the worst place ever, you know, you probably don't want to go there. Now, I found my rehab literally from talking to someone who was sober, 2 people, they both went to the same place, and I was like, well, fuck it, okay, I have to take my insurance, I'll try there. But here's the thing, if you have one that you're dead set on, one that you're like about, and the one has a bed, but the dead set one does not, go to the because the more you wait, the bigger chance you have to die. Now, this happens is apparently really common for most people who go to rehab. Right before, like, I went, like, I, you know, told my father the day before, and the next day I went to rehab. And, well, before that, I had a nice humiliating experience because parts of getting sober and going to rehab in general is you get treated like dirt. You get prepared to be treated like dirt a lot of times, but I'm sure as a drug addict that you're really getting treated that well right now. When I decided to go to my rehab in the Seabrook, I went to Seabrook House. They told me when's the last time I used? I said it's been like, you know, more than like 12 hours because it wasn't that point. They told me I had to go to the hospital because I was going through withdrawal, which I thought was sort of dramatic. And it was. And I went there and I got treated like dirt. And this is why I don't tell medical professionals that I have a history with drug use unless I have to explain why I'm on, you know, Suboxone. So, yeah, they definitely treat you like dirt. So expect that you're probably going to treat like dirt, but you're probably getting treated like dirt now. Accept it. Also, so I go there, you know, and I got really, really high the first day. Like right before I went, I got fucked up, like super fucked up. One last hurrah. And I can't tell you not to do that because you're already doing shit you're not supposed to do. But just realize you're playing like Russian roulette. You know, there's 6 chambers and 1 bullet, and that last fucking hurrah might be your literal last hurrah. So just fucking be, at least be a douchebag. I'd be trying to be smart about it, but I can't tell you not to do what most people do. Just be fucking smart about it. So the first time I went to rehab, I was really fucking high. I had no idea what the fuck was going on because I was really fucking high. I don't remember half the stuff I said to the doctors. They will examine you. They will do a whole full physical usually. They will go through all of your stuff. But when I went to, we were not allowed to have magazines, books. I was allowed to have coloring books pretty much. That's all that I have. I was not allowed to have anything that was like a semi-offensive shirt. I had like, me being high, when I packed my favorite shirt at the time, which was, and had like little kids on it. It said, kill yourself, all the cool kids are doing it. And I had a kid hanging from the tree because I'm fucking horrible. And I brought that there. They don't really like that kind of stuff. So do expect that they're pretty much not going to be happy with stuff. You can't talk to people. You can't go on the internet. You can't like just hang out usually. You know, everyone in rehab is different, but that was at least the experience that I went to. Like I literally could not have any books, and I had a journal that I wrote in a lot. And even if you can, you know, have entertainment, get a fucking journal because there's a lot of shit in there that you have been pressing down and hiding for a while that you need to get the fuck out. So get a journal. Now, I'm sure there are people that just heard that and said, I'm not fucking toxic. I'm fine. I just like to do drugs. Think about this just, and you might not see it right now, but you might see one day. There are a few reasons to keep a journal. A, most people who heavily do drugs are not happy. It's just reality. If you're happy, why are you hurting yourself? Why are you killing yourself if you're happy? Like, find me a heroin addict that did it for like 40 years because you're not going to find one. People don't live long in these kind of lifestyles. They just do not. You know that. You know that. You can't tell me you don't know that. Number 2, you are going to need something to remember the bad times as well. Because sometimes it's really easy once you've been sober for a while to remember like the the like cookie cutter like happy cloud of drug use, and not the horrible times you had, only the funny times you had with your friends, usually when you first started using. So it's always good to have somewhere to put your thoughts, and it's good to get it all out, because you're going to have to, you've been numbing stuff somehow or another, even if you don't feel like you have some kind of big reason to be doing it, you've been numbing stuff in general. So you need something when all that stuff starts, unfreezing, if you will, to put it. So get a damn journal. The first day, they give you a lot of medication the first like 3 days. You have the detox unit and the regular unit. First, the detox unit is anywhere from like 3 to 10 days depending on your usage. I was there for 6 days. The first like 3 days, I pretty much was on so much medication that I kept just sleeping. So the first like 2 days was fine. I woke up the third day like, what the fuck did I do? Holy shit. What did I do? And spent about a week trying to get out of there. I got out of detox after 6 days. I'm still like trying to get out of there. Luckily, you have to talk a lot to people to get out of there. And that made it easy for me not to like really push together. Because like you're not forced in there unless you're like there for like, for court or something like that. You're not forced in there. However, they will try to not get you to stay as much as is humanly possible, especially if it's in the first week or so, because that's your biggest chance of going out there and dying. It's just reality. So after detox, detox is a little stressful, but they're a little kinder to you in detox because you are sick. You get medication. Most doctors give you like Suboxone, like a certain amount, and they lower it down to you really don't have anything at the end. And some other medications just to sort of like calm you down, like a non-narcotic like benzo, a non-Xanax, like, a non-habit forming benzo, I guess I'm more to be by that. But then that starts to go away. Now, once you are out of actual detox, and depending on the place, sometimes this happened my last like 3 days of detox, and then the rest of my time there, you have to go to lots of groups, lots of meetings. Like how mine was, it was like group in the morning where we all talked, and then we all had to like, and it's cheesy shit, like some of the stuff is going to be like, what the fuck, like they make you like tell your emotions and how you're feeling today. And mine, they gave you a list of like 20 words, and one was like, how do you feel? And then one of the words was sparkly. So every single day I was sparkly after like my first week, because it just made me laugh. So if I was angry, I was like, I'm angry and sparkly, because it made me laugh. Regardless though, they're going to have some fucking icebreaker weird ass challenges. They also in mine had like 4 separate meetings. You had Alcohol Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, and then like 2 more narcotics. It was mostly Narcotics Anonymous. And you read through the book and all that wonderful stuff. And they tried to go through the 12 steps. And then you had like a group therapist. You don't always get your own one-on-one therapist. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I hated my group therapist to the point that I cussed her out. Because again, also really raw, and I also have mental illness. So raw, no drugs to numb this shit down or, cope with, and I'm raw as fuck already, because you feel raw shit. You will be raw as hell for the first year, but especially when you first get in there and you first stop doing drugs, you are an open fucking wound. Everything is gonna fucking fuck you up. And I cussed this lady out, and I couldn't stop fucking shaking, and it was horrendous. And I'm not sorry, but I am sorry, because I wasn't really learning shit. But they have group therapy, they have all this stuff trying to give you like, not really, and the thing is that bothered me, they didn't really give you like building blocks on how to not do drugs. They just gave you all like why it's so bad, and it's like, well, we know. But with the Narcotics Anonymous book, even though I was not into the whole thing, and I really can't be into that, my biggest issue at the time is I was an atheist. I'm not an atheist anymore, but back then I was like a hardcore atheist, and I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to find a higher power if I don't believe in them? And nobody could answer that question to me. So I've realized that when this is higher power, find the higher power in yourself. Find the reason for you to keep going, if you will. Like, you have to be your own higher power, be your own higher power. Like, be the reason you're fucking staying. Now, it is not easy. It is very regulated. Like, I literally had to get up at 6 a.m. Everything is set. You have to go to all these classes. You can only smoke during periods of time. You can't talk to, like, mine was separated by gender. So I could not talk to any guys. I gave a guy a lighter and got in trouble. Like, you have no, like, you literally can only go do what they say to do at that time. And when you are a drug addict, you're used to living in a lifestyle where you just do what the fuck you want. I mean, I was living in a fucking crack motel. Mind you, I was working. Besides that, I was, going to bed and doing whatever the fuck I wanted. So you aren't used to this whole regulated lifestyle. And it's hard. It's a pain in the ass. You want to fucking punch everybody. And you want to cry at the time. Or you want to do whatever. And it's part of it. It's part of the process of getting your emotions back, if you will. Now, do realize, though, you are going to meet people there that you fucking hate, but you're also going to meet people that you fucking love, and you're so happy you got to meet them, because they're all going through sort of the same thing you are. So lean on each other. Like, support each other. When you first get there, like I said, depending on the medication they give you, a lot of times after my first week, our jobs, if you've been there for at least a week, is to help the people who are just getting there, because they're all sort of nodding out the table with all the medication they're on and stuff. I actually, like, the same girl, and I'm actually friends with her still, she was sitting next to me, and she kept like nodding and almost hitting her head on the table, and I kept doing this, like holding her head up. And because of that, that's how we became friends. Because you look out, in general, you should always look out for your fellow junkies. Like, even if you're still using, like, even if you're not even thinking of going to rehab, it's a brotherhood, if you will. You know, try to treat everybody else like you'd want to be treated. Like, that's just how it should be anyway. So, the last, like, to me, I went there for 2 weeks because I had to get back to work and life. I didn't have enough money to do anything. We're past that. A perfect one is 30 days, but we don't all have 30 days. So I had 2 weeks after, you know, my first 2 weeks. I got put on antipsychotics. I started like losing my mind a little bit. The juice machine was telling me to leave. I definitely, you know, started self-harming again because I had no coping mechanisms. My coping mechanisms were always drugs, sex, and food, and I couldn't use any of those. So I was just like, like losing my fucking mind. So definitely realized that after you get rehab, it's just the beginning of a whole lot of shit. Get a therapist when you get out of rehab, you know, all that kind of stuff. You're going to need to keep continuing in this journey. This is just the beginning. Now, some people find NA and they fucking love it. It's great for them. Some people don't. It doesn't really fucking matter. Do realize that you're probably going to lose all your friends, and not in a bad way. You just need to find new friends that aren't doing drugs. You can't. That's just reality. If you are in a town that only thing you know in that town is drugs, it's time to move out of that town. Now, if you are in a perfect world, you know somebody that you can live with for a little bit, where you don't have to really worry about having rent and all that kind of stuff. And that's like perfect fucking, you know, worlds. If you have your parents, you go back into something like that, that's the ideal situation. But if you don't have that, just try to make sure whoever you're living with is, you know, sober. You know, even, I mean, doesn't drink beer, doesn't do anything, because it's going to make life way easier for you. So I'm going to have a few other parts of this, but that's just sort of how rehab is. It's a little hard. It's definitely worth it. When you get out of it, you will have sort of like a natural high of sobriety. But I'm going to tell you how to deal with it afterwards, because sadly, like all highs, it just lasts forever. Alright guys, if you have any questions, leave them at the bottom, or I'm going to leave my email address so you can leave them anonymously if you don't want to, you know, tell the world that you're doing drugs. And also, if you think you might be a drug addict, you probably are. If it gets to a point where something you have to do, you just probably are. But if you're not sure, send me some, you know, talk to me. Maybe I can let you know. Alright, bye guys.